Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a Artemis custom statue made from the Sideshow Premium Format Wonder Woman. Now, if you guys are from the 90s and you read early 90s comic books, I think it was the 90s or maybe late 80s, but I think 90s, when Wonder Woman changed up her outfit, I think she stepped down as Wonder Woman, I forget the whole story, and Artemis took over. Hopefully I'm saying Artemis right. If I am saying it wrong, bear with me. I always say names wrong, my friend cracks on me all the time, but you know, it was just one of those outfits I loved, and I like the idea of other characters stepping into the Wonder Woman mantle. So I really wanted to capture that, and then, like I said, this is one of my bucket list characters I've always wanted to make, and I finally got a chance to do it, and I really pulled out a lot of stops with, customizing and trying different things with it. So we'll kind of break down everything I did, but I had a lot of fun. And I did do some extra things that I haven't done before, like face features, and we're going to kind of get into that. But let's start off with the hair first, and we'll work our way down. So I am working on a video on how I created hair like this, because I had a couple of these Wonder Woman statues, and I'm actually down to one more after this. So when I get that video up and done, you'll see how I actually create the hair. But give you guys an idea. If you do have the Wonder Woman Premium Format, you know it came with a peg. Well, what I did is I put a magnet in here, right? A magnet there, and there's a magnet up there, and then this hair goes on that like that. So this way, when I ship her out, I don't have to worry about the hair breaking and stuff. Now, the other thing, too, is there is a metal rod with the magnet that's in this hair that goes over down here, and then I sculpted over that, and I kept building, and I kept building, and I kept building. And then once I got it to the shape I wanted, I started adding more stuff onto it. So you might notice there's a couple pieces of like the Sideshow Premium Format Rogue hair that's on here. There's a couple other pieces from other statues. Even some of these little pieces here might be from like the Sideshow Premium Format Spider-Woman hair. And other stuff I sculpted from scratch. So it's a mix and match of all these different things to capture it. Now, I really wanted to do the crazy hair that Artemis has in that book, if you've seen in the beginning of the video. The only problem was if I went too crazy, a lot of stuff would be breaking everything. So I had to find a middle ground. But there is metal rods in here, there's extra A's, so a lot of the stuff is really worked out pretty good. And the way I designed it, as long as you put your hand here like this, and you pull up on it, it comes out fairly easy, and it stays in very well too. So you don't have to worry about any major breaking like the premium format that came with it. That's Wonder Woman hair. Everybody I know has been contacting me, can you repair the hair? But the problem is all that stuff is so fragile and breakable. When you ship it to me, it breaks more. Then I ship it back, it breaks more. So I really wanted something to really work out pretty good. So that's what I did. Now, as her face, you might notice that I actually did change up the face a little bit. This is one of the first times ever that I actually tweaked up a face as much as I could. So it was something I experimented in the beginning before I did anything to the statue. I messed around with the face. So I have an extra head here, so from an old one that I cut off. So you can kind of see what the head looks like here and then there. I changed up the mouth a little bit to give it that more puffy look like she had in her comic. And then, as you can see with the nose, I did change up the nose a little bit. As you can see, I brought the nose tip up more. I took this down a little bit more, and I gave it more of a smaller nose. And I also beefed up her cheekbones a little bit more around in the bottom here and there. So I did change it up a little bit, and I think once you start tweaking out that little bit of that face features, it works out pretty good. So I'm always trying to, bust out my skills a little bit more and really like try new things. But I don't do it on client stuff. I do it on my stuff or personal stuff or stuff I'm doing on the side just to sell off, because I want to keep getting my skills up and keep practicing on these items and see how far I can go. So that's pretty much where I went with that. So as you can see with the outfit, I did tweak up her abs a little bit more, worked out the breasts a little bit, not much. I built out the armor, and she's got all that type of armor. I had to take out the original waistband that came with the Wonder Woman, and I had to bring it up a little bit more because hers was a little bit higher. So once I did that, it worked out pretty good. We'll get on to So this piece right here is from another statue. A friend of mine actually had this sitting in his box of parts, and I was talking to him about this, and he says, hey, I got this pouch with already arrows that are in it. You want it? And I was like, yeah, I could use it. So that worked out perfect. I didn't really have to sculpt that from scratch like I was going to with all these little arrows. He gave it to me. So what I had to do is I had to try to recreate this arrow in this hand. So this hand was up higher, and she had her spear on her shoulder. So what I did is when I broke the arm and I pulled it down, I rebuilt all this, and then I fixed out the bracelet, and I put this arrow in here so we could kind of see what I did is, so the idea is she's standing here and she's got her arrow in this hand and she's got her bow in this hand, and she's gonna, you know, throw it in the bow and start shooting stuff. So that's kind of what I did. Now, this statue breaks down even more now, so I'm going to show you what I did. So this hand actually comes out magnetized, and as you can see with the arrow, this is a really good strong metal rod. It won't break or anything. I had to glue it in. I had to tweak out her finger a little bit more to bring it up and put it in there, as you could kind of see. It was the best way I could do it. And then I put a metal piece of, as you can see there, for the tip. So that worked out pretty good there. So there is a hollow metal rod, brass rod in here. You just got to go in pretty careful without messing it up. And then also, what I did is this is magnetized, as you can see. So I really like to try to break down my customs, you know, because if I try to ship this like this, forget it. It's going to break apart and everything. So I really like to go above and beyond. And the same thing with this here. As you can see, this comes out as well. Now, some of her old pictures, she doesn't have a left bracelet on her arm, and some she does. I had to kind of bite the bullet. I didn't want the bracelet. I just wanted her bracelet on her right hand, but I had to do it here because I had to break this down. So I figured, let's do that. So as you can see, she always has like a really weird design. Some drawings had like this crazy design that went around. I tried to do it. It was breaking. It didn't work. I found somebody on, I think it was a DeviantArt on Google, did this really cool design. So I kind of just followed that, you know, did my own little thing. Now on to her bow. This was a lot of fun, but I had to come up with an idea on how to do this. So, kind of get back a little bit closer. There we go. Alright, so what I did was, I sculpted one end first. What I did is, I used a metal rod. I bent the rod, because I actually found a bow online, and then I printed out the bow to kind of be like, alright, the bow is going to be this big, and I had it. So what I did is, I bent the rod that fit the piece of paper. Then I started sculpting over it, and then I shaped it, and I sanded it, and I shaped it, and I sanded it, and then I got that side really well. And I was like, okay, that's going to be the one side of the bow. But the problem is, you know, how am I going to sculpt the other side to make it exactly like that? It's going to be very difficult because it's not going to be lined up correctly. So what I did was, I went to Smooth On. I got one of their trial kits of the $24, $30 kits of this really cheap mold. So what I did is I took that piece and I made a really crappy mold, and then I cut it like this, and I popped it out, as you can see. And then what I did is I bent up a rod that would fit inside. Like as you can see, this is just one of them. This is the first one I got messed up. Then I made another one. So there's a metal rod there. And then what I did is I poured in my mold, and I popped it out, and I sanded it down, and I made my other side. So each one of these, there's a hollow metal rod in this hand. And then there's these pieces connect into that with a metal rod, really strong. So, like, this isn't like just pure resin just sitting there and then you could flick it and it breaks. There's actually a brass rod going between both of these, so it's really secured. So once all this was set up, I notched out the edges and I just glued in the string to the edge. So that worked out pretty good there. Alright, so gonna go down a little bit further. So onto her boots. Now she's got these you know, leather straps around her boots, and she's got these wings. Now, of course, I'm like, oh my god, how am I going to sculpt these wings and stuff? So I go on eBay, because eBay is a great place for finding all kinds of, you know, little knickknacks that can help you with customs. And I went on the pendants, and I found all these wing pendants. And they were really good, except they were all one way. So they're like pewter or metal pendants. So when I got them, I just warmed them up in my fingers, and I just kind of tweaked them a little bit, and I kind of bent them. So I bent it this way, and I bent it this way. I had to find wings that on both sides of the wings had this sculpting, because there were some wings that had really great looks, but when you flip it over, it's a flat back, because it's, you know, for your necklace or for your whatever. So I found these that were really good, that had, you know, detail on both sides of the pieces. So, alright, so I got all that done. You know, of course, I sculpted the sash that goes around the thing here is magic sculpt. What it is, I rolled it out, let it harden, and I just wrapped it around her. And then I sculpted this piece here, and I put this rope around there, you know, for her lasso. Alright, kind of keep going down here. And then as you can see, this is her base. So what I did is I chopped up the base. I broke it all down. I made it like, just to shorten her up more, because, the base, she would be huge high. And I just wanted to give it that, Themyscira look and everything. And there you go. That is Artemis. Went all out on this one. Had a lot of fun. I really wanted to pull all the stops on her. And as far as paint work, Garage Kit's flesh tone, blues and reds, alclad gold, alclad chrome on her bracelets. The hair is now her very first appearances that you saw in the pictures in the beginning of the video. She's kind of like a blondish red. It's like, I was kind of confused because then when you go into her actual stats, she's like a redhead. So I after going through a lot of the pictures, even though her early 90s stuff, she seemed like she was like a blonde. She is a redhead, so I kind of came up with this, and I went with this red hair. So it's a lot of pearls in there with mahoganies and clear reds. And then the hardest part of the whole entire statue was the stars. Now, those are arch-refined transfer stars, and I really wanted to get that old-school look that she's got all those stars all over her thing, because I know it's a lot of people, and even I know, it's very hard to do stars. So these are rub-on stars, so I just took my time, and I would cut out the star piece. I would put it on there, and I would rub it on, pull that off, work on to the next one, and yeah, it's a lot of toying around, but I really wanted to get that look of all the stars on her. So all said and done, I'm really happy with the way she came out. I had a lot of fun. It's definitely a great statue. It's definitely a one-of-a-kind, because I don't think any company would ever really make this version of Wonder Woman, because it's from the 90s. It's very obscure. I don't think, So I like to do these really one-of-a-kind, obscure characters, and, hopefully, some of you guys, if you're out there, please say in the comments if you read the storyline, if you like this idea, maybe you just like to see it come to life in a 1/4 scale, statue, because that's kind of like what I like to do. So there you go. There is Artemis in the Wonder Woman outfit with her bow and arrow. So now that I know I can do this bow and arrow stuff, if I ever had to do like another, character that has a bow and arrow, at least I got the idea down and what amount of work it would take to do it. So there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you like the custom, and we'll be back with some more videos.